Hey, this is Joel Yelton here with the first episode of This Is Who We Are podcast. My goal with this podcast is just to give younger people some more options as far as work. So on the podcast, we'll talk about, what it means to work, the importance of having a job, really with a focus on more hands-on blue-collar jobs and giving people the opportunity to see what's out there with people that are more their age instead of having a teacher tell them. And then maybe we'll get into some kind of hands on projects since that's what I do. I am a shop teacher for high school. And, in the past 12 years, I've just noticed that there's so many jobs out there. And I think that people that are coming into the adult work world don't have the chance to really see all of those opportunities. And I think there's a lot of people that don't mind working with their hands and don't mind, doing physical labor per se. They're just not aware of how many different things they could do and make a good living and maybe have a career instead of just having a job. So that's the goal. I appreciate you being with us. And without further ado, we'll go into our first episode with Zach Robles. Thank you.
No pressure, Zach. There's two cameras on you. Now, Zach, is this your first time doing gay porn?
On or off the books? Is this for your own? Or is this for the world to know?
All right, man. So go ahead and tell us your name, Zach.
Zach Robles.
Zach Robles. And how do we know each other?
I was a student of yours.
That is correct. Good job. You passed the first round.
Yeah.
So what are you doing these days for work?
Commercial diving.
Commercial diving. And, dude, how long have you been out of school?
19.
3 years?
What year are we? 22?
22? 4 years. Wow. I'm getting old. And how long have you been working as a diver?
I've been in the industry for 3 years now.
3 years. And so you went to school for like 9 months or something, right?
7 months.
7 months.
In Seattle.
In Seattle. What's the name of the school?
Divers Institute of Technology.
How did you like it?
It was amazing. It was fun.
Worth the money?
Yes.
And then what? So, and I don't think I ever asked you this when you told me in school that that's what you wanted to do, but what made you want to go towards that direction?
My counselor, Miss Harrell.
No shit.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to edit that no shit out, but I'll definitely have to tell her that. That's cool. What did
She brought up underwater welding, and I looked. She was like, I think A&M Galveston has a course because I told her I didn't want to weld topside because it's hot.
Yeah, dude.
She was like, "What about underwater welding?" I was like, I looked into that, and then if you look up underwater welding, like dive schools just come up.
Yeah.
So then you start looking at dive schools, and you realize there's a whole other world to this work.
For sure. Lee and I, Mr. Matthews, went to Anshippy, whatever that school is in Houston.
Ocean Corps?
Yeah, I think that camera just died. That's okay. Yeah. And so we got in the tank and did all this stuff. It was fun. And it's funny because you said, there's a whole other world. So many of my students are like, I want to be a welder. And they're like, I got black shit in my nose. I don't want to weld anymore. And I have one kid say, I said, what are you doing? Because there was like 20 minutes left and he was putting his stuff up. He goes, man, it's too hot. And I started laughing. I said, dude, it's a freaking AC shop. Like, I thought you wanted to be a welder. All right, so describe what it is that you do.
For this company, I do ship maintenance. So we mostly do hull cleanings, propeller polishes, inspections. Every now but we also do repair jobs and thruster work. So, like, I was just in Seattle because the Norwegian sun hit an iceberg.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and
Titanic.
made a huge hole in the ship.
Wow.
I could have just swam right through the ship.
Wow, that's cool.
So we had to. It was a weld repair, and I went from there. From Long Beach there, because I was in Long Beach for actual welding training underwater. So this, if for hydro weld is what we call it. So that's our main ticket in our industry.
And so I was going to ask that too. You said like thruster repair and stuff like that. So that seems like it's like mechanic kind of stuff, or
For sure, yeah. Involves hydraulics and all that.
How do you learn that? How did you learn that? Are you still learning it?
Always learning.
Okay.
It's not too hard because engineers do most of the work. We just do what they say.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, that makes
So like
sense.
with thrusters, it's just really thrusters we do sometimes on shit. I haven't done one on a. There's different types of thrusters. So I've done it on drill ships where it's a thruster that sits out of the water, but there's also thrusters that go inside the boat. So it's a lot of just shaking hands, rigging, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, and so for people that don't know, what is rigging?
Lifting heavy stuff.
Yeah, right. So
Chain, straps.
And obviously there's a lot more than like throwing a chain on a however many ton thruster and pulling it out of the water. 60 tons, yeah. Do you enjoy that?
Oh, for sure. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's a 160-pound dude is moving a 60-ton thruster.
Yeah, and you just think about like how much weight that is.
Yeah.
Being lifted by a crane. Kind of cool.
When I was in Mississippi, I worked on the Noble Globetrotter too, and we did a thruster exchange. And usually they use wire because it comes up simpler at the same time. But this one they use chains, and it didn't really. The block at the top kept getting stuck because it was so fucking heavy.
Yeah.
There was a point where the lock broke on the chain, and it sent 200 feet of like an inch and a half chain straight into the water. Like 2 minutes as I got it, and like I was all up in these chains.
Wow.
Maybe 3 minutes as I got out the water, it sent all the shit. I think it weighed like 2,000 pounds.
Yeah. So exciting also.
Yeah.
Describe your day or your week, and what's your work schedule like? Are you on and off? How does that work?
For this company, I have a 48-hour notice of schedule. So they'll send out the next 2 days, what the next 2 days could look like. And then if there's a job and I'm on it, then they'll send the exact time to be at the shop or at our boat service that we should go out of. Or if I'm flying, then they'll just send me my ticket.
Oh, that's cool. So tell me, like, where have you been?
This year's been pretty fun, actually. February, I went to Curacao.
For the rest of us that don't know where the hell that is.
It's a little island, like, off of Venezuela.
Okay, yeah, and so that's in the Atlantic Ocean? Is that right? On the right side, towards Europe? I think I looked it up when you told me. It's in the ocean. We'll just go with that. And that was the place that had the like 60-foot water that you could see to the bottom.
Yeah.
It looked so cool.
Then the next month I went to St. Martin, which is another island nearby. It's like the Virgin Islands over there. I've been to Miami a few times. And then these last 3 weeks I went from Miami to Long Beach to Seattle.
When you go to Miami and you get off the plane, do you say "Bienvenidos a Miami"?
No. I don't know.
Wasn't that like a Will Smith song or some shit? Huh? "Bienvenidos a Miami." Wasn't that in like a Will Smith song? All right. Anyway, fuck Will Smith. What are your working conditions like?
It's different each time. Seattle was cold, good visibility. Today sucked. There were so many jellyfish. I got stung a crazy amount of time.
No, wow. Okay. And you're in Galveston right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got stung by jellyfish once, and my dad would not stop peeing on me. No, I'm joking. I did get stung once, and my dad was like, "Man, that sucks. We're not leaving."
Yeah.
How much of your body is exposed if you're getting stung?
So today, since I saw the jellyfish, I had a wetsuit on.
Yeah.
But even then, like I was cleaning with a we call it double head, so it's got 2 brushes on it. It's all a big hydraulic unit. But those tentacles get stuck in there and they just get shot out.
Wow.
So like the gloves will move.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
here, or even as I'm going, sometimes it'll just wrap around my hand and it goes right through the gloves.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And then I have a neck dam on that goes to the helmet, but it doesn't go wetsuit to neck dam. So like this is exposed.
Oh, God.
So my neck got all.
For people that haven't been stung by a jellyfish, what would you describe it?
Burning. It stings.
Let's say, have you been stung by yellow jackets or hornet?
Yeah.
Which is worse?
I think the yellow jackets are worse.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's probably a more intense pain.
Yeah.
As opposed to the jellyfish just being hardcore burning.
Yeah.
And then you talked about water visibility, which is probably something people don't think about. So describe like the difference in water visibility.
Here in Galveston, a good day's 3 feet.
Yeah.
4 feet.
Yeah.
In the summer, it's pretty good. We'll get if you're offshore, 20 feet. But for the most part, it's black water.
When you say offshore, how far offshore are we talking?
If it's just a regular ship and we're in the inner anchorage, like 20 miles. If it's a large ship, then we're farther out and it's 40 miles to outer anchorage.
Okay. And then maybe you know this, maybe you don't. Like oil rigs. How far off are the oil rigs? Are they less than 20 miles or more than 20 miles? Or you don't know?
They're honestly everywhere.
Okay, just wherever there's oil, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, we might want to edit that out too. Now, earlier you were talking about, the engineers giving you the kind of telling you what to do, and this is one that I'm always trying to drive home to students. So describe the importance of paying attention, or what happens in your job when somebody's not paying attention.
Someone can die. Somebody
could die for sure. Have you seen anybody get hurt or anything like that? Knock on wood.
No, we not due to
not listening.
Yeah. Because it's like we say plan your dive and dive your plan.
Okay. Yeah.
Does it always work like that? No. Because we're going underwater and humans not supposed to be underwater. So as soon as I'm like, yeah, I completely understand. But as soon as I hit the water, I'm like, wait, what am I doing?
Yeah. And that's one of the things of they're called accidents for a reason. Nobody planned them. Now, your company that you're with, talk about the safety culture, if you can.
We have monthly online trainings to do. If there's a near miss, then we'll all stop everything. We'll gather, talk about it. If it's a really bad near miss, then we'll probably stop for the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so is that like, if you stop for the day, does that mean nobody's getting paid, or how does...
No, we're always getting paid.
Okay, that's good.
And if it's if it's oil and gas, drill ships, rigs, it's 12 hours a day minimum. If it's just a regular, we'll probably get 12 no matter what.
Yeah. And is that, I know when I worked in the movies on union jobs, if you show up and there's nothing to do, you're still getting your 12?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Fudge, I was going to ask you something else. Well, with your job, I think for sure, but does this job give you any freedom that a normal job might not?
Oh yeah. So like I can take as much time off as I want.
Yeah, it seems like you're getting to go to really cool places.
And even if I'm there, as Oprah sent you earlier, he's like, "Can you stay?" I was like, "Yes, I got to fly back somehow." I'll just tell them, "Hey, I want to stay here for a few days. Give me my ticket for 4 days from now,
Yeah.
and I'll get my own hotel."
Awesome, that's cool. All right, so what are some of the challenges of this job?
Oof, everything.
I would think everything.
I don't work on bottom, so like I swim the entire time.
So you're a top. You're a pitcher, not a.
Yeah.
No, so you. What does that mean?
We work mid-water, so we're swimming constantly.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't walk to work. There's nothing. So like, imagine if we're underwater welding and you don't have a platform to stand on.
Oh, so you're like holding yourself up swimming while you're trying to weld.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We got magnets and stuff, or like sometimes if it's a stationary and we're not moving around too much, then we'll weld a little tack, like a bar to sit on.
Yeah.
But even then, it's still mid-water, so we
and I was going to think of the current stuff like that. Have you seen any sharks?
No.
Okay. If you see some, we take pictures.
Yeah.
Scary shit out there.
Yeah. Have you done anything like barge stuff in the like Mississippi or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm only asking because I really want a pet alligator. So if you see any babies.
Yeah, we were in Alabama working on a drill ship, and I jumped. So like, say, here's one corner, here's another corner. Our ladder was in this first corner, and I jumped in. I started swimming. They were like, "Yeah, hey, we saw like 2 alligators at the corner," and I thought they were talking about the far corner. And I got out. They were like, "They were right here by the ladder." I was like, "You could have really told me that."
Being underwater, that's obviously not going to be for everybody. Is it? Do you ever feel like claustrophobic?
People do like at dive school. They tell you before you go, like, try and find a helmet to put on, because people don't like. Yeah, I can do this, but they've never been in a helmet.
Yeah.
And then they get all claustrophobic.
Yeah, and it's a little more. It seems like it's not hard to breathe, but it's more effort to breathe. Like it kind of makes you feel taxed.
Kind of. So we have a train on the top, and I can turn a knob, and it just shoots.
Oh,
air.
okay. So
it's
you
a free flow.
Bump the pressure up more.
Yeah.
And is your helmet? The ones we did at that little dive school have like the bubbles just come out. Is yours like the recirculating kind?
Mm-mm.
It's the same.
They just come out.
Yeah. Okay. How much does that helmet weigh?
45 pounds.
45 pounds. Jesus.
The light one's 42 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah.
Titanium. All right. So, what's the greatest challenge you faced so far in that job or any job?
Greatest challenge.
Or is it all just easy for you?
No, it's not easy. Physically, it's probably cold water. Cold water hurts a lot.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah. And what's the longest you've stayed in cold water?
If I have hot water, I can stay in all day.
Yeah.
If I don't have hot water, like it was so cold this winter, there was days where it was like an hour and a half, hour 45.
That's a long hour.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of that Cuba Gooding Jr. movie where he was like the Navy diver. Got to be like that. Was there a challenge that you ended up loving?
Yeah. So it's kind of in rough seas. I like to. It's fun, not in the moment, but after getting just tossed around.
Yeah.
Because your body can go through so much. Like one time I was holding on to a bilge kill and the current was pushing me under, but the swells were pushing me back out. And so I went down because it just got super strong. And I came back and I did like 4 flips in the water.
Oh, wow.
And like I had good visibility. I had like 40 feet and I'm like mid-water. And I'm like, where's the ship at? And I popped up and it shot me like 50 feet off the ship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It's funny because I think a lot of people that haven't I don't know, maybe been outdoors much. When you try to describe like something that sucks while you're doing it, but then seems awesome when you're done. It seems like you're lucky to get paid to do something like that.
Yeah.
And then obviously we know the answer, but would you describe this work as being rewarding?
Oh, for sure.
How so?
Well, if you're a dude, girls love it.
Yeah. And you're going to a lot of places where there might be ladies that are easy on the eyes.
Yes. And then sometimes if you're talking to someone that doesn't know what they want to do, you open their eyes to another. Like they might not even want to do diving, but it's like there's more to the world than
and
what's in your neighborhood.
That's so much why I want to do this. And I talk about this with my friends of like our experiences growing up in the country, and then I have all these kids that like live in apartments or live in the suburbs, and I'm like, man, there's so much that they don't know about.
For sure.
Or like I wish that I could take some of my students just to some of my friends' houses where they would be like I didn't even know this was an option. Man, I don't think I knew about underwater welding in any real sense until I started working as a teacher. So that's interesting. All right, so how's this important to the world? Why is your job important?
Oh, well, for ships, that's everybody's stuff comes from China.
Absolutely.
Everywhere else.
Yeah.
We do cargoes, we do tankers, rigs, drill ships, and then the offshore guys, they just do pipelines and all that.
Yeah.
Inland guys, they go in water towers, they're cleaning everybody's water.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. I saw one guy on YouTube that does, I guess like an aqueduct, but the steel, it's like a 36-inch supply line under the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes videos, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it was showing how it like went under a river, and then pops back up, and same thing like you were saying, where you would just never, unless somebody told you or you randomly found it, you would never know that somebody's doing that for a living.
There's dam guys, there's nuclear diving.
Yep. The guy Rich Depew that does our training for the district, that's what he was, a nuclear power plant TIG welder for 20 years. What do you like about it? It seems like you like everything.
Yeah.
So you get to move around a lot. The money must not be bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I do well for a 22-year-old.
I'm sure you make way more money than I do as a 44-year-old public servant.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. Well, people think we make a lot of money, but we don't. If I worked, so like last week I had a 95-hour week.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot.
And it's not bad when you're doing to work that much.
Yeah.
But if I don't work, sometimes I have like 20-hour weeks. But
Yeah.
it's not bad because it's whatever. I get time off. I get to do whatever I want.
Yeah. And that's something I think Mr. B and I have talked about recently too, is the older I get, the more I realize how important my time is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. If you're not going to be rich, then you should probably have a lot of quality time to do something. I don't know how possible that is for everybody, but I think as a teacher, we're pretty lucky to have that. How has this made you grow? How old are you now?
22.
22. Man, so how old were you when you had Shippy first, right? Did you have Shippy?
I did have Shippy.
Okay, so what were you, sophomore?
Sophomore, yeah.
Okay. I don't know, man. What's adulthood like for you so far?
It was fun. Lived downtown for a little bit. I've lived a lot of places. I lived in Seattle, came back, worked offshore in Louisiana, so I lived in Louisiana for a little bit, didn't like that. Came back, then I moved downtown, loved downtown, just expensive.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking for like a townhome near downtown, but not Rice Village, East Downtown, anything over there.
Leo's over by Rice Village.
Nice.
I forgot what I was going to say. What do you dislike about it?
About my job?
Yeah.
The office likes. So the office guys. Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll try to take that part out. So it's safe to say there's probably some politics in it.
Politics, yeah.
And that's what I was going to ask you earlier. Is somebody has a near miss, somebody has a bad near miss at the job. The boss, the supervisor, comes out and he says, "Hey guys, I hate to interrupt you. Let's have a talk about safety. I think you're doing a terrific job. I appreciate all your efforts. Let's just keep an eye on it, guys." Or he says it in a different way. How does he?
No, he says it like that because our supervisor's was a diver or is a diver, can go in and do diver stuff.
Okay.
So he's running the rack.
Okay.
He's in charge of the air. He's talking to you the entire time. After supervisor on a big job, it'll be like project manager. He's there. Those are the guys that are like a hard ass for safety and all that.
Yeah.
It's like supervisors are like implementing it, say it but it's the PMs that are about it. But the office, they think we're always ready to work or on call. Even I'm not on call, so even though I'm technically always available for work, if they call me in, I'm like, all right, I'll be there in a few hours.
Is there ever? Sorry, go ahead.
But then my time starts whenever they call me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to put his name out there, but do you remember Brock? Skinny white dude that was always working out in my class. It might have been after you were there. He got a job welding, regular welder, but for some big company, they're flying him everywhere. He's getting paid even when he's on the plane.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think he gets paid like $26 an hour to be on the plane, and then
he makes more than I do.
like 38 or something to weld. And so that boy, he went from, I thought I was going to have to kill him, and I didn't think he'd be able to do anything, to, just really, really pushing it.
Yeah.
But they're doing crazy, crazy hours. I think it was it was something dumb like 7/16s or something, 2 on, 2 off kind of thing. And I think that's another one too, that it's like, if you want to make money in the trades, you're probably going to have to put in some hours.
For sure.
Let's see. Keeping on. Where do you see this industry going? How is the industry? You're busy. People are busy. Are they hiring?
Pretty much always hiring. Shipping's never going to go anywhere.
Yeah, it seems like shipping's always going to be here, and
yeah.
Steel's always going to be breaking.
Yeah. Cruise ships are always going to be a thing. But so during COVID, our Miami office took a big hit because all their work was mostly cruise ships.
Of course.
So they were kind of sending guys just to different offices because we do tankers, cargoes, and all that. But Miami took a big hit during COVID.
Did that? Were y'all affected with the big cargo ships? Were they not? They still coming?
Still coming.
All right.
Only thing that changed was the lockout tagout. Supervisors weren't going on board anymore.
Oh, of course. Yeah. So how does with the lockout tagout and not being able to go on board? They just didn't do it?
Oh, they sent lockout tagout paperwork up.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
So it's like another step in the process.
Yeah.
For people that don't know what a lockout tagout is, what's a lockout tagout?
Securing all things that can kill you.
Yeah, so turning power off, stuff like that. I don't think, in our shop, kids that are 15, 16 years old don't fully appreciate, how bad things could go if you cut somebody's air off, or turn off the power, or turn the power on when somebody's touching it.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. All right. What's something people don't know about your job and they should know?
Oh, they don't know anything about my job.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I'm getting schooled right now.
It's I mean, any questions you ask is the same question every time.
Yeah. Yeah. What do people say when they say, "Oh, what do you do?"
That's crazy. What have you seen anything weird?
Yeah. Have you seen the Kraken?
Yeah.
All right. Quick question, trick question. What's your favorite tool or machine?
At work?
Yeah.
For hull cleanings, it's the Pamper because it's easy.
What is that?
It's a yellow cart that drives. So like today, I had to use double heads, and it just goes. There's no stop.
Oh, is it like a pool cleaner? You know, the thing that runs along the bottom of the pool?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But it goes on the hull or something?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But this one doesn't. It's just two brushes, and they spin this way. So they just go. There's no stop. So you're just moving the entire time. With the Pamper, you can put it in neutral, and the brushes will raise up. That way, it doesn't take the paint off.
So are you driving it, or are you more just hanging on to it?
For the
I'm
Pamper,
just trying to understand.
The Pamper, I'm driving it.
Okay.
So it's got handlebars.
Okay.
I'm moving it. With the double heads, you're kind of just hanging on. You can steer it and stuff.
Yeah.
But you're moving.
That's cool. And so it removes paint and
barnacles, grass, slime.
All right, another trick question. What music are you listening to at the moment?
Anything, everything. There's no nothing I'm not listening to.
All right, are you listening to country?
Yeah. I know you hate country.
That's okay. All right, tell me about your best or your worst day on the job.
So the worst day is zero visibility.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's just bad. There's times where I've been doing props and I'm looking 2 inches and I can't see anything. I would rather take all the current, all the swells, and be able to see than it be like calm as a lake and I can't see.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, for you, is this a job or a career?
Sure.
Seems like you're real happy doing it. And if you were going to talk to somebody, a little younger than you, what do you personally think the difference between a job and a career is?
A career to me is, are you going to enjoy doing it every day till your kids are grown?
Yeah. I've had really good jobs, and then I think as a machinist, I really enjoyed that, and that could be a career. But with teaching, it's like I tell my kids a lot of times, I don't work. It's like I come here, and I do work, and there's most of the days I'm dirty and I'm sweaty, but it just doesn't seem like real work.
Yeah.
Which I think if you're lucky enough to find that, then it probably doesn't matter how much money you're making anyways.
Sure.
Because you're enjoying it. What do you enjoy doing when you aren't working?
Sleeping, riding motorcycles.
I was going to say, man, I know you just got a new bike.
Yeah.
Tell us about your bike.
I got a Ducati Scrambler 2020. Had 1 mile on it.
Nice. What is that, like a 750? What is that? 8? I don't even know what Ducatis are.
It's 1100, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So you got that V twin vroom vroom.
Yeah.
And we talked about this briefly. Sorry, I'm zoning out there a little bit. What kind of education would somebody need to do this job? So you said you went to
dive school.
And what was it called?
Divers Institute of Technology.
Okay, now we talked about this when you were in school, but you did not go to the local one here. Mm-hmm. You went all the way to Seattle.
Yep.
And you said that one was actually more expensive also.
Yeah.
Why?
You can get your IMCA ticket there, your DCBC, which is the Divers Something Board of Canada. Okay. So it's more international.
Okay. And so the one here, you're limited to
just here.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them in the States. There was one in Florida called CDA, but they killed like a few people, so they just shut down. Actually, they didn't even shut down. They just forfeited all of their certificates. So now all they're good for is like scuba.
Oh, wow.
There's one in like New Jersey, I think. There's one in Louisiana, actually. Seattle, and then there was another one in California, but that one closed too, I think.
So I'm going to have to send this to Miss Harrell. She's moving to Waller. Well, they live in Waller, but she's going to start counseling for Waller.
Oh, really?
But speaking of high school, what did high school teach you or fail to teach you? I'm always interested in this question from somebody that's graduated to see, where the weaknesses are.
It failed to teach.
$5 says he says real world things.
Yeah, real world things.
Like what?
People, I don't know. There was a lot of.
While you ponder that question, what classes did you enjoy the most?
Oh, shop for sure.
Shop class.
Yeah.
But you, it seems like I remember you being a pretty strong student otherwise.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
It wasn't that I was bad at school. I just didn't like it, so I didn't apply myself. Yeah. So like I wouldn't do daily work, but once it came to the test, I'd be fine.
Yeah. Do you now you're an adult, you're working, you're living on your own, etc. Is there any value you see in when teachers are busting your ass about do your work, stuff like that, or are you good?
There's no. Okay. Well, it depends. So I think it depends case by case with the teacher.
Okay, 100%.
Because there's time there's a teacher that's just a teacher.
Yeah.
But there's teachers that are educators. Like Coach Dibble, that man could teach.
I'm going to have to definitely show him this. He'll enjoy that very much. He's an AP now.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a good AP too. And that's always good to hear. All right. So high school, what did it fail to teach you? Or what would you change?
I would change everything about the English and the writing curriculum.
Okay, how so?
I've learned more from...
He's forgetting I'm an English major.
Yeah. I've learned more from reading books on outside. Like the books that they had, I didn't get anything from them.
Yeah, and I could try to justify that about being American literature canon or British literature canon, but I think if you're reading anything, you're learning. Mm-hmm. And maybe Shakespeare's not quite as relevant to most people as it should be. So yeah, that's interesting.
Because it's like Jordan Peterson said something. It's like they've never asked, like, when you went to school, they never told you to write what you wanted to be or something like that. It's just write about this book, write about whatever. It's never write about something that's relevant to anything.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to defend that because I think that we're hogtied to a certain degree. If there's 30 kids in a class, I got to set some kind of boundary about what I could relate to, or I might not know anything about it. So I'll defend teaching in that notion, but also I agree with you. I think this year I'm going to go back to trying to find out what my students want to do and not tell them that they're stupid and that that's never going to work. And I don't know, it's like if a kid says he wants to be a YouTube star, who am I to tell him he can't be a YouTube star.
For sure.
If he wants to be a rapper, if he wants to be whatever, maybe the better thing, instead of trying to convince him not to, is convince him to apply a passion for it or something.
Yeah. Like, what steps are you going to take in order to do that?
Yeah. And I've had some kids that I had a kid, and I can't remember his name, but he had like 8 books of rap stuff that he had written. Yeah. And then he told me he would, his favorite songs, he would write them over and over, which is interesting because we'll go back to the English thing with The Great Gatsby, but F. Scott Fitzgerald would write the books of his favorite authors. That's how he became such a good writer. So I don't. Maybe we can tie that back in. Let's see. Going back to high school, and you kind of already answered this, but is there anything you would have done differently? Is there anything you would tell kids that are in high school right now? Especially juniors and seniors that are,
life's coming quick.
Life's coming quick.
Yeah. It's I don't know. There's you're gonna be 21 soon.
Dude, it goes by fast. Yeah. I mean, it goes really fast. And
whatever happens in high school, no one's gonna remember it.
Dude, we had so many fights this year over girls, and I'm just one kid he said, hey, can I talk to you? And he was having problems with a girl. And I said, do you want 18-year-old Yelton's advice or 44-year-old Yelton's advice? And he said, 44-year-old. I said, you're not going to like it.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'll take it. And I said, it doesn't matter, dude. Like, there's no right one, There could be 1,000 right ones. Like, stop. You're worrying about the wrong stuff.
For sure. You don't know what it's like to love. You got to love somebody more than yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great advice. And you've always had your stuff together. You played football, you were in athletics, working out. So I think that obviously whatever's going on at home, your mom did a good job. There's so many kids that don't have that. So I always think when there's somebody like you that's not afraid to grow, what kind of advice would you give somebody that's, or is there any advice you could give somebody that seems to be stuck in that 16-year-old mentality? I don't care about school, but I also don't have a job. What would you say?
I would say you don't want to live at your mom's. Until you're 40.
I've had more kids than you could imagine telling, I said, what are you going to do after high school? My mom said it's cool that I live with her. And I'm like, dude.
It's not cool.
Yeah, your mom doesn't mean that, I promise you. Your mom loves you a whole bunch because she's lying. Would you recommend underwater diving / underwater welding to somebody coming out of high school?
If you can handle working in just harsh conditions, yeah, do it. It's once you make a name for yourself, because at any given point in time in our industry, in the world, there's only like 2,000 working divers in the world. So everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
So if you make a name for yourself, you're pretty well set.
Yeah.
So it's just, if you want it to be something greater than anything you can imagine, you can do it.
I'm hoping to do that one day. So many kids come into the shop program and they want to weld, and you try to explain to them like working conditions.
It's hard.
It's like, dude, you got to work. I don't mind working. Like, yeah. I like working. What else am I going to do? Sit around all day? Now, it's 100 and whatever today. Thank God I don't have like a real job. But I think there's something satisfying about knowing that if you had to, you could.
Yeah. Like today, like I got in the water at 9. No, wait, earlier than that. Probably 8. And I didn't get out until almost 2.
Oh, wow.
And then when I got out the water, I didn't just watch
Yeah.
everybody break down.
Yeah.
I got in that heat too and broke everything down because I wanted to get out of there.
And that's a great, you make a great point about, I don't know, like working as a team. It's like you did your job, but that doesn't mean the work is over.
Yeah.
And I think that could go for probably anywhere you work. If you're working at Starbucks, it might be closing time, but you still got to clean everything up and prep for tomorrow and et cetera, et cetera. It seems like, and I guess it makes sense, if you're young and you've never really had a job, that's something that's hard to learn.
It's hard to learn in a slow paced environment, but when it's fast paced, like you'll find things and like the guy before you, I call it buddy fucking. So like now nobody likes a buddy fucker. Like if they don't leave a tab for you to take something like a tapes, we use a lot of tape. So if you don't leave a buddy tab and I have to get in there with my nail and try and get it out instead of just having a tab and undo it.
Yeah.
Or if they tie 10 half hitches along a piece of rope while I'm trying to rig something up and I got to untie all these hitches.
How are you on knots, speaking of?
Oh, great.
My Leo was giving me crap because
I've seen you tie knots.
Yeah. He said, man, I like watching you load a trailer. And I said, why? And he goes, because you don't know any knots, but if you tie the same knot enough,
if
seems
you
to
don't know
work.
a knot, tie a lot.
Can I steal that?
Yeah.
This past summer, I was with my dad, and he knows knots, and I was showing it. Like I couldn't do it now, but I was learning like a half hitch and some mountain climbing knots and stuff. And I had the kids doing them too. We were all like, "Oh, like." I mean, it's kind of cool, Like I would never have thought tying a knot could be that neat. But man, knots are they're fun. Sorry, got off track there. All right, so buddy fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great lesson of like you're not the only person in the world.
For sure. And then it's like my coworker just got out the water. I'm gonna help him take his gear off, all that stuff. I'll hang it up for him. It doesn't matter. Like I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But he just spent 4 hours in the water.
And you know what that's like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And same, it's like in my class where I'm like, put your tools back. And I get it. I didn't put my dad's tools back. I'm paying for it forever. Maybe all I hope is that as students get older, they realize some of those lessons and why they're important.
Yeah, because it's gonna come back to you, and you're gonna be like, why didn't they do this?
Yeah. I mean, I think that about all the stuff that I broke of my dad's at least once a week. Okay, so I'm a younger person. I'm looking for a job. I'm coming out of high school. I think I like what you do. How do I get started?
Just go to a dive school's page, request you can visit, do
That's
tours.
Right.
Because I did do a tour.
Yes, I remember you took a college day, and I think you and your mom went up there for the weekend or something.
Sure, yeah.
Yep, that's cool.
You see everything that's going on. It's dive school doesn't really prepare you for actual working conditions. It just kind of teaches you how to breathe underwater, not panic.
If I got to be underwater for a while, I want to know how to breathe.
Yeah.
Do you think, is there any dive school that would really prepare you? I mean, I would liken it to like being in the military, right? And you do all that training, and then you go to your first firefight, and you're probably like, what the,
Yeah. No, it doesn't, because like we got a guy that went to school in, where did he go to school at? We had a guy that went to school in Poland. He was trash. We have a guy now that went to school in, where did he go to school at? somewhere out the country too, and slow at first. He caught on,
Yeah.
but he was also like, he came here to Houston with a plane ticket and a bag.
Wow.
So when they were like, dude, we kind of like, you either got to step it up or you're done. He's like, I got to step it up.
Yeah. How so? Like, how did he have to step it up?
He was just super slow. But even like when I started at this company, I was really slow.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's just something you've never done before, especially swimming. Like you think you know how to swim until they give you some hydraulic tools and they're like swim at 100 feet that way.
And a 45-pound helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
That's
the
cool.
current.
That's cool. Okay, so man, it's been 48 minutes, believe it or not. Is there anyone you want to plug? Do you want to, mention your company again or mention school? You want to say hi to Angel?
I saw Angel 2 days ago.
Okay. Okay, so just one more time, tell us the name of the dive school.
Divers Institute of Technology.
And they're in Seattle.
Seattle, Washington.
All right, and then the company, can you name your company?
Yeah, I think so. Subsea Global Solutions.
Subsea Global Solutions. Good employer?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, man, I think that's about it.
Sweet.
Cool. I appreciate you doing this.
Thanks for asking
You,
me.
you broke my interview cherry. All right, till next time. All right, that does it for our first episode of This Is Who We Are with Joel Yelton and our guest today, Zach Robles. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. If you really loved it, please go ahead and subscribe. It makes a huge difference. And if there's anything that you would recommend or that you want to tell me that I did well, please leave a comment. And if there's something you would like to see as far as a specific job, please leave a comment with that too. Until next time, have a great day. Keep on working.